Lehigh River subdivision. I'm Ian, and today we're going to be doing layout update number 20. So to recap, in the last update I was working in the Lehigh Gorge area on the bike trail and forming the retaining wall for the rest of the way to where the bike path finally comes up and meets the track level. And I worked in that area. I did some work over here in the mountain area, and I did a little bit of work over in the Viaduct area. So we're going to take a look at that. I've been working on decoders and getting a lot of my locomotives up to running DCC. As you can see, I've got 4 trains running here on the layout while I do this intro video. I have a clip to show before we get into the layout changes of how I did the drywall mud, how I spread it in the river gorge. So that's a little tip. And then when I get into talking about the mountains, there's a little tip on how basically batch mixing with sculpt mold, how much to mix up. So that is it really on the layout changes. September 2nd is going to be Cameron's first birthday. I believe I'm going to be holding a contest, so that video should come out before then, and then I'll try to announce winners on his birthday or a little after. I have no clue on prizes or anything, so just watch for a video on that. I just want to give a heads up that I will be holding some type of little contest. It'll probably be a piece of N scale and HO scale rolling stock. So with that being said, let's jump into taking a look at what's changed around the Lehigh River subdivision. Okay guys, I do like to show you some of the processes of the work, or how I do the work that I've been doing. So in the last update I had mentioned I've been making this area. So I've been building it up with the drywall mud. So you can see the 2 pencil marks here. Those are still 2 low spots. So in between coats, I'm getting down close to the layout and eyeballing this, and I've been going back through with the pencil, circling the areas that need to be filled in more. So what I've been using to spread the drywall mud for this is just the old credit card. So I'll show you how I've been doing this. And I just take some drywall mud out with the card, and I put it on here. And I'm going to spread it just through that area that I had the pencil mark in. I'm just going to put a little bit more in here. And that looks like it filled in what I needed to there. The only thing with the credit card is a little messy compared to like a trial, because it comes up onto your fingers, but it seems to work good for spreading on here. So I haven't been too concerned with the edges, because I'm going to chisel that out and do whatever over there. So just get some of the excess off, and now I'll make a pass with the wide part of the card, putting very little pressure, and that should fill in that hole there. So I'm going to let that dry, and if that doesn't fill it in, I'll touch it up some more. But that's how I've been doing the bike path and forming it in and get it all nice and smooth so it looks like a nice even grade for a road or bike path. Okay, we're back over here at the River Gorge, and I'm going to show you the work that I've accomplished since the last update. So if you take a look right here, you'll notice this is no longer foam. I sculpt molded this mountain in and went ahead and painted it green, as well as I sculpt molded this whole section over into that bridge abutment and up to where the bridge or the tunnel comes apart right now, till I'm completely done with setting the track and stuff. So it'll be a bit till we get to the point of sculpt molding and finishing up the mountain that you can see right there. But I went ahead and filled in the area right there behind the rail cars as well with the sculpt mold, and went ahead and painted it. So what I'm going to do is take a second and throw the picture up of what this looked like before I did this. Okay, so I went ahead and took the phone out of the tripod so we can get a better look. And the reason, I've mentioned it before, but the reason I paint the Sculptamold green right away is because of my color blindness. This helps me visualize things better and to see things. It helps with the, I guess, being able to see some contrast really helps me see the whole picture of where I want to go with this. So you can see how that filled in very nicely there in this section, and then I also did back in there up to the tunnel. Alright, so we jumped to the other side of the mountain. The tunnel would be right about there on the other side of this foam divider. So you've seen the mountain Sculptamold at last update, and some of the things I was working on was the bike path. I showed you before we jumped into looking at the layout how I added in the spackle, and you can see I have started working on the stone retaining wall. So here I haven't gotten any stone up yet. There, I'm gonna set this right here. Here you can see I have stone. Here you can see there's no stone. And then here you can see there's one layer of the drywall mud for my concrete cap started. Now back further, let me move it in. So moving back further here, you can see that has 2 coats on it, and it's starting to fill in better. And if I turn the camera, you can see the finished stone retaining wall over there. So I'll keep building this section up till it starts to look more like that. And I did use the utility knife to cut along and get a nice straight edge once it was done. It takes a little time, but I really like the look of it, and to me it has a really realistic look for a stone retaining wall. So that is where I'm at with the stone retaining wall. By next update, I should have most of this in and painted. So the one other thing was building up the track here. If you remember last update, I said I had to build up the road bed on this piece of foam because for whatever reason it was lower. And if I bring you around, you can see the train cars sit pretty nice through that section. So I'm happy with the way the track is set up pretty much through here now. So that is basically where I'm at in the river gorge. I'm going to continue with the wall, and I'm probably going to be jumping sections up into here to start building in the river base for this part, and start working on some of this, getting it set, maybe that bridge abutment, and then finally I need to get these corners buffed in yet because I gotta get my river. So first we get all the foam in for the river, and then we'll start focusing on laying some river bed in. So that is where I'm at with this section. Okay, and the last little bit of work to be done was the Sculptamold on the hill on this side of the viaduct. I pretty much got the back filled in. We got a little bit to do on that side yet. And then this side needs quite a bit more, but it's not that hard to do. You can see I got just a little bit up on the viaduct there. That'll be easy to get off with a wet rag and wiping it, because I put a clear coat on top of the viaduct just for that purpose. Earlier figured that I would be getting landscape terrain material on it and that I would have to clean it off. One little tip on the Sculptamold: work in small batches. Mix a small batch of this stuff. It's easier to spread the fresher to mixture. The longer it sits, the more it sets up, the harder it becomes to work with. I found that out with the first batch I made for the mountainside, and I just wanted to bring that to your guys' attention, so you don't run into the problem I did with a big batch that's sitting up on you, and you don't want to waste the material, because well, stuff isn't cheap, so, and I really hate wasting anything. So that is it for the update on the layout. We will hope to have a lot more done in the next 2 weeks for you guys for another layout update. I want to say thank you to everyone for watching, and we'll see you down the tracks. And I'll throw up some clips here at the end, one or two of some trains passing somewhere on the layout. Take care and thanks for watching, everybody.